Brill. So hopefully everyone can hear me, and welcome to the meeting today. So I'm Robin. I'm the Education and Careers Coordinator at IFST. A big thanks to everyone for joining. We've got attendance from lots of different universities across the UK, and we've got some companies on the call as well who are interested in the competition. So before I introduce kind of what we're going to be talking about today, I wanted to give anyone that's new to the competition a bit of a background and an explanation of what the competition is about. So I'll just do that very quickly. Ecotrophelia is a Dragon's Den style competition that challenges student teams to create new eco-innovative food products. So they have to develop these products whilst thinking about all aspects of product development, such as food safety, the hazard analysis, marketing, and packaging. It's a fantastic opportunity for students to learn about what it takes to create new food products, viable ones for the market, and learn more about the sector and really boost their career profile. The UK competition is organised by IFST and Campden BRI, and medals are awarded in the bronze, silver and gold category, and then the gold category winners go on to represent the UK in the European finals, and this year they were in Cologne in Germany. And the 2024 competition will be held in Paris. We've got a great website where you can find a lot of information about Ecotrophelia, which is at www.ifst.org/Ecotrophelia, or if you Google Ecotrophelia UK, you'll find it. It contains information such as how to enter the competition, judging criteria and top tips. So check that website out. The first session will be from Bertrand, who's from Campden BRI, who's going to talk about what Ecotrophelia is, how to enter, and the 2024 competition. We're then going to move to Donna Empson from Nottingham Trent University, who's talking about how to coordinate and motivate teams and how you can incorporate the competition as part of your course. And they've done that quite successfully at Nottingham Trent. And I'm aware a lot of you on the call have also incorporated it into your courses, so it'd be great to get your input on that. And then we've got Jessica from Team PlanEat, who was the winner of the 2023 competition, who's going to talk about a student's perspective of the competition. So great to hear from Jessica. And then at the end, we're going to have a big Q&A session where we can get everyone's comments and advice in terms of the competition. So I'll stop my introduction there, and I'll hand straight over to Bertrand from Campden.
Yes, so Robin, you've already highlighted some of the key things about Ecotrophelia, and you had that great little video that I think is on the website as well. So if you want to look at it again, that's the words you just talked about, Robin. But the is that Dragon's Den style competition, and for the students, it's a great opportunity for them to use all the knowledge cross curriculum to develop a new product, a new eco-innovative products. And it's organized jointly by IFST and Campden BRI, and we've been running it. It was our 10th year last year, 11th year this year. I'll just put some more information here on the slides that you will get afterwards, but that's also on the website. But what's important to know is that the team has to one, they have to work as a team and develop a new food or drink products that has eco credentials. So it has sustainability needs to be designed in the product. So not just shoving it into a biodegradable packaging. It has to go through the whole formulation, where the ingredients come from, the processing, the footprint, carbon footprint, energy footprint, water footprint, whether you are upcycling some waste products or side stream products from a particular manufacturing site. So that and you're also looking at the HACCP, the safety, the legal, the labels, the claims you're making on the products, whether there's actually a marketplace for your products and the price is right. So the whole offering needs to be worked up, and so that's really good for developing teamwork, but also the entrepreneurial skills and presentation skills for the students. great to have you on board now, Robin. So I've got without the glasses. So that's you. And I saw that on the call we've got Tim as well. So hi, Tim. So it's a great collaboration between the two organizations, Campden BRI and IFST. So I'm Bertrand, and the other key person in the group of four, the Magnificent Four here, is Joe Rasky, who works on the organization of the finals. So you will see Joe, a lot of Joe as we get to the towards the finals. Just a bit of history. Mentioned there was our 11th year this year, but it's good to reflect on the success of the competition, because we've had over 22 universities involved since we started. Over 500 students have now taken place, so there's a huge gang of alumni. And we also had placement students, and I think, Robin, we've got some people from food companies who have placement students. So, and it's a great opportunity for these placement students as well. And we've had some great stories over the years of people in placements entering teams. We're also very privileged and honored to have great industry sponsors, and I'll come back to that in a minute. And then obviously there's the European finals, which is just like the European Championship of football, or the all the European nations are getting together, and it's a great opportunity for the students and the academics that are with the students to meet their peers across Europe and start their networking across Europe. So fantastic basis here to build on. Just to remind you about the prizes as well, because some people are quite focused on the prizes. We now have 4. So Robin mentioned gold, silver, and bronze, which comes with cash, which at the moment is £2,000 cash for the team for gold. And then the opportunity to represent the UK at the European finals, where there's the opportunity for the winners to win a gold prize of €4,000. And then you got silver, 1,000, and 1 year IFST membership, and then bronze 500. And the new prize that we introduced this year, which Unilever is sponsoring, is the Food Safety Award, because the finals tend to be in June, and it just happened to be on June the 7th this year, which was also World Food Safety Day. So it was good to give a shout out to the team that had done a lot of work on their food safety. In terms of our track record of success in Europe, we had a bronze medal back in 2016. We had a silver medal back in 2017, but we are eluding the gold. We also had a special marketing prize back in 2021, where the guys from Libero in their drinks here managed to get this special marketing prize. But as I said, we're missing that gold. So SIAL next year is the goal is to get that gold, especially at SIAL, because it's their 60 years and it's one of the largest food exhibitions in the world. And they usually have a big red carpet for us there. So it would be a fantastic place to get that gold for the UK. I also wanted to recognize the industry sponsors, because as I said, without them, the Ecotrophelia wouldn't really exist. But they also make up the dragons, so the judges that will be listening and evaluating the products and the pitches in June. So PepsiCo has been sponsoring the prizes, the cash prizes, but we also have Coca-Cola, Marks & Spencer, Mondelez, Nestle, Sainsbury's, Unilever, Warburton's, Quorn. We also have food manufacturer, and Athens has been really good at covering this, and also Food Matters Live providing some media support as well. But it's a great opportunity for the students and also the professors and academics that are supporting the students to meet people from industry, senior people from industry, who will be there and part of the judging process. I also wanted to highlight the work of the shortlist of the judges who shortlisted all the entries. And again, you can see that they're seasoned industry professionals, but they're the ones that select the 5 up to 7 finalists that will then go on to the live final in June. So they do their work of pre-screening in around Easter. The judges, this year we had, as I mentioned, a good selection of people from all these blue chip companies, and it's a great opportunity to meet these people, to learn from them, And it's also a bit of a beauty parade as well for the students, because a lot of them end up working for some of these companies. So there's a added benefit of taking part there. These were the finalists this year, just for reference. Just to give you a feel of how the judging takes place on the day, this is for the 7 teams that will be shortlisted. But this all happen in one day, and where the prizes are presented in the evening. And there's the marking sheet, which is on our website. So there's you can check all these criteria that the teams will be assessed on or against. And the team would have to give a 15 minutes presentation, which includes the tasting of the product. Then there's a 10 minutes Q&A, and then the judges take 10 minutes to mark and do their scoring and so on. So it's a fairly short and long presentation, but that needs to be a compelling one to put across all the key messages that the teams need to want to put across. And they also have a stand in the lobby next, not far from the judging area, where they can display all their marketing materials and their corporate images and so on. You will see that the judging criteria are about innovation, so how innovative the product, eco-innovation as well, because that's all the sustainability credential, whether the industrial feasibility, so that's how scalable the product is, because the students will need to produce these products, so the judges can try them, but obviously that's on the sort of kitchen scale, pilot scale. So the students need to think about how they're going to produce this on the large scale, either using contract manufacturing or building their own factories, and what equipment they're going to use and so on. Whether the market credibility is there, so is there a market at the right price? Have they done some consumer research? Have they done some work around the pricing of their product and their offering? The nutritional characteristics. So this is mainly about coherence of the messages there. It's not about having a healthy product as such. It's you can have an indulgence product, but it's how you communicate that to the consumers. So it's all about the coherence around nutrition and how you communicate the nutrition and all aspects of the product. Then obviously it has to be safe and legal, which seems obvious, but some of the European teams are a bit lax on that one. They have all the marketing communication plans to promote the products and the values of the product and so on. The packaging, how much work has gone into the packaging, and also the eco-credential of the packaging. The general presentation of the live pitch, and then obviously the tasting of the products, which has a score here, and then the entrepreneurship spirit, which is a European sort of criteria here. Because they're really pushing the entrepreneurship spirits of students in the food sector, and so they get scored on that. So that gives you hopefully a bit of a feel for how the competition is run, and the criteria they use for judging, and a bit of history about the competition. But it's a great collaboration between industry, academia, and the students, and a great platform the 3 to get together and come up with some really creative ideas of eco-innovative products. So I'm going to stop there, Robin.
Great, thanks very much, Bertrand. Fantastic introduction to the competition. So we're going to move now to Donna, and I'm just checking that you're on the call, Donna. I can't see your name, so she might have experienced some difficulties joining. So we might go to Jess Stinton next. Who is from Team PlanEat from the University of Nottingham, who won the UK competition this year just gone. About your perspective of the competition, and in the background I'm just going to check that Donna's okay to join. So over to you, Jess.
So yeah, hi everybody. I'm Jess. I'm part of Team PlanEat from the University of Nottingham, and Robin's just asked me to share a little bit about my journey through Ecotrophelia. So before I start, I really want to say Ecotrophelia has been something that I wanted to do since I looked around universities when I was 16 and 17. So to have been able to participate in it has been incredible. And at Nottingham, it's really emphasised and incorporated into our new product development module. So let me walk you through some of the timelines. So we were really introduced to Ecotrophelia from the beginning of our final year. We were walked through the process and told how it was going to be linked into our new product development module. Something else that I think is really brilliant that we do at the University of Nottingham is teams are paired up with industrial partners. So we were given our partner in December and really challenged to bring to the table lots of ideas that were eco-innovative. And working with our partner, we refined those ideas. We really settled on using insect protein as our environmentally friendly and innovative main ingredient, and wanted to target Generation Z through producing a healthy, sustainable and delicious insect snack product. So December was very, very early development, and we were actually able to start developing that in our pilot plant facilities at university from January over a 10-week period, finishing in early May. So you can see a little photo here of me developing that in all of my PPE. But our products we called protein poppers, and they are chicken nugget-like snack bites which are ready to eat, made with 41% sustainably sourced IFST approved mealworm protein, with a kind of barbecue pork flavour, and yeah, aimed at Generation Z. Could be eaten on the go or reheated for a variety of meal occasions. So that was our product, and that did take us a good 10 weeks, if not a little bit more, to get from very early development, where we were actually using corn nuggets and tofu to experiment with flavours and coatings, to where we got to in May, and we actually continued that development through to the UK finals and then through to the European finals in conjunction with our industry partner. So I've put some key dates on the timeline at the top of the screen. So March, we finished our development and handed in a technical dossier to Ecotrophelia, which was our kind of sign of entering the competition. In May, we finished product development before the finals in June, which were actually on my birthday, so it was even more of a delight to win. And yes, as Bertrand was saying, we had a stand and then had to do a presentation in front of the panel of judges. It was a really, really good day, very full on, but it was such a delight to see what other teams had been doing, and to present a product that we were really proud of. We won the UK final, which was a real joy. And then throughout our summer, we worked on refining our product, as I just mentioned. We did that with the support of our industrial partner. And we carried out some entrepreneurship training, particularly, which was set by EIT Food and Ecotrophelia Europe, which was so helpful. My dream is to own my own business one day, so it really gave me the skills that I needed to understand market segmentation and finance models and marketing models, and how you can really promote your product to the best of your ability. And then at the very beginning of October, we flew out to Cologne as a team, armed with 200 odd insect snack bites in our suitcase, and presented to the panel of European judges. Unfortunately, we didn't come away with any awards, but we had a fantastic time. And this whole experience has really taught me a lot about leadership, not always leading from the front, but leading from the middle of a team, really empowering your colleagues. It's taught me a lot about entrepreneurship and running or setting up the business. Above all of that, it's just been brilliant to network with some real industry professionals. All of the judges from the UK finals I now consider kind of colleagues, part of my network, and it's been a real pleasure to see them at various stages through the competition. So that's everything from me. Please do feel free to ask any questions later, and get in touch if you would like to know anything more. Thank you.
Well, thanks so much, Jess. Great to hear your insight, and yeah, a fantastic little presentation. So appreciate that. So now we're going to move to Donna Empson from the University of Nottingham, Nottingham Trent University, sorry, about how Ecotrophelia can be incorporated into courses and how they've successfully done that at Nottingham Trent, and also how to motivate and coordinate teams that enter the competition. So I'll hand straight over to you, Donna.
My name is Donna Empson, and I am a lecturer here at Nottingham Trent University. I've been a lecturer here for just turned 2 years now, and before that I was involved in lots of product development and product innovation in both the manufacturing food industry and the retail industry as well. But when I joined, they'd already started some of the product innovation, and it was my first experience of Ecotrophelia. I'd never heard of Ecotrophelia before, so it was a sharp learning curve. So if you move on to the next slide, please. Excellent. So yeah, so the way that the course is set up, it's the BSc Food Science and Technology course at Nottingham Trent, and basically my speciality is product development. So I run a module in level 4, so the first year at university, which is Principles of Product Development. And what that does is it lays the foundations of product development with the students, because a lot of the students haven't got any experience of product development. They might have touched on packaging design and product design a little bit within the A levels that they've done, and some of them haven't even done a food related A level when they get to us. So the level 4 module lays the foundation. So there's a lot of theory in there, but also we introduce a lot of practical, and we actually get them to develop a product up to kitchen approval. So once they've got those foundations, within the second year at the university, that builds up that food knowledge, and then they come back to me again within the third year, so level 6, where we do product innovation. And the level 6 module is based around the Ecotrophelia competition. So it's embedded right from the beginning of the module. And what it helps to do is it develops the students' knowledge, skills and behaviours, which we try to embed quite strongly here at NTU. And it gives them the skills that they need to design and develop products, particularly when they start moving into the food industry. So we basically get them industry ready. What it does, it develops an understanding of the constraints as well, that comes hand in hand with product development. For those of you that have developed products, you'll understand that there's a lot of constraints there. And this module is very clever because it pulls everything together. So all of their learnings right throughout the degree, it pulls it all together in one place. So a lot of the time the students are referring back or to lecturers in quality, in micro, in the sustainability, and everything basically that they've studied comes together within this module. The one thing to add on is the module relies obviously on teamwork. We put the students into random teams, so they don't get to choose who they work with. And I think what that does is it gives them, again, a real industry experience, because you can never choose who you're going to be working with. So we do a lot of things, like we do a Belbin study on the teamwork and the whole psychology of team behaviour as well. And that sets them up as for handling the very intense module that is. We'll move on to the next slide, please, Robin. Thank you. So within 1 month of starting this brief, they're given their brief, and I introduce them to Ecotrophelia, and they do their formative. Can I have the next bit, please, Robin? And that is in the form of presentations, and they have to present their concepts ready for their summative. So this is if in the next bit, please, Robin, if you just put the whole slide up. Yep. So it's a 25-minute presentation, and a lot of students really struggle with presentations. It's one thing that we get them slowly used to throughout the course, but then it gets quite intense within this module, because it's probably something that they've done very little of throughout their time at school and throughout their time at university. So it's really quite a big thing for them, and they do that in front of an academic panel. If you next bit, please, Robin. So within that, if you just put it all up, please, Robin. So within that formative, they have to present their understanding of the brief, so they can often refer into Ecotrophelia there. They demonstrate how they've done their idea generation process and how they've looked at those outcomes. They present market insights, market research. At that point, they've probably done some consumer research as well. And they present 3 concepts. They get feedback from the academic panel at that point, and then they make their decision on which product they're going to take forward to present at their summative. Now when they're doing that, they move after the formative, they move into sort of bench development work and with some lectures that will help guide them. But that bench development work is really important, because what then they find is that their concept doesn't work, and they can end up with a mix and match of all the concepts that they've got. So it's a really important process, I think, for them to go through. We have the next slide, please, Robin. So for the summative, that is assessed in 3 areas. The dossier. Now the dossier is it's basically identical to what they would submit to Ecotrophelia. So that forms the bulk of their marks that go towards their degree. Interestingly, what we do there is we add an element of peer review. So obviously within teams, you will get some that contribute more than others. And they do that with a questionnaire that I send out 3 times during the process. And then I take an average of those scores and apply that to the dossier. They then have to do a presentation, and that is the big Dragon's Den panel, which replicates what happens at Ecotrophelia. And that panel is made up of 13 to 14, again, exactly the same as Ecotrophelia. Representatives from around the business. I try and ensure that I get a packaging expert, a quality expert, a sustainability expert, somebody from each part of the food industry. So that can be very that can be quite stressful for the students, but again, it's getting them ready for if they want to take their dossier forward to Ecotrophelia. And then post presentation, they do a reflective log. And one of the things that the students always come back with is that they find it the most stressful and the hardest of all the modules that they do, but at the same time it is the most rewarding and the most satisfying, and the module that they've actually learned the most from themselves. So that's quite a good takeout from the module, and it's very satisfying as the module lead to watch them progress from the formative, which we've actually just conducted. So where they're so nervous, to when they get to their summative and their presentation skills have developed, their confidence has grown, they know their subject. It's incredibly satisfying from a mentor's perspective. Next slide, please. Okay, so Ecotrophelia in the module, where it fits in. Next slide, please. So as I've said, we embed Ecotrophelia in the right at the beginning of the module. I go through why it's good to take part, what they'll get out of it. I talk about who's involved. So I talk about Campden, IFST, and all the people, all the sort of dragons that will be there. I mean, obviously we don't know who the dragons are, but once we do know who the dragons are, I do tell them they need to stalk the dragons and know a little bit about them. which they do, and they find that quite exciting as well. We talk about the dates and the deadlines and how it links into our module. Okay, next slide, please, Robin. So yes, so since I've been there, I've gone through Ecotrophelia twice now. My first year, we took a team of, it was actually a team of 3, but on the day we had somebody who had to join. Well, he couldn't join on the day, but he was there virtually, which was great. It was held at Tesco head office, which was amazing for the students to actually go to somewhere as spectacular as the head office at Tesco. So that in itself was quite kudos for the students. They did receive a bronze, which they were very, very happy with. So it was great for them, and the networking opportunities was amazing. And also there was a great talk that I think it was from the trends person at Tesco. I can't remember the lady's name, but it was excellent and some great insights for the students. And it was also really good for them to talk about the Ecotrophelia experience when they were going into industry and they were going through their interview process. It was a real good talking point as well. So the next slide, please, Robin. Yes, so last year we had 2 teams that entered. We had Eco Pinch and EcoCo. One team was successful in getting through, and they again received a bronze. One this year, well, next year I'm hoping that we can just go up a little bit, hit that silver. And the girls were absolutely ecstatic about that. Again, Sainsbury's head office. So it was great for them to go to a big retailer such as Sainsbury's. There were lots of networking opportunities. It was just a great experience, but not just for the students, for the lecturers, the academics as well. It was just such a great experience, and the atmosphere and the energy in the room is quite addictive, I would say. So although most of the time we are focused on the students, we also run a BSc for apprentices where we get block release from apprentices that are working within industry. Tried quite hard to get them involved in Ecotrophelia as well. However, there tends to be a little bit of the company that they're working for can get a bit protective over them, and it can be a bit of conflict in interest there and getting them involved in Ecotrophelia, because obviously if they come up with a really fantastic idea, the company wants to keep it for themselves. So that is work in progress for me on how I can get round that little stumbling block, but watch this space, because I think it's something that we'll work hard at to get around. So and that's it from me. If we put, I think that's it. If there's any questions, I'm happy to take any questions.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. Just stop sharing my screen. Big thanks to all 3 of you for speaking today. We're going to go on to a bit of a Q&A session now. So if you've got any questions for Jess, Bertrand or Donna, then please click the raise your hand button. What I'd say though, because I'm aware that a lot of people on the call have experience of the competition, so if you have any comments about your experience on Ecotrophelia that you'd like to share, or any questions specific to the 2024 competition, please go ahead. First hand that we've got up is from Tim McLaughlin from IFST.
Hi, thank you, Robin. I just wanted to say thank you, Robin, thank you, Bertrand, thank you, Donna, and thank you, Jess. Great summer on Ecotrophelia, oozing enthusiasm, which we hope everyone has felt. We were talking about winning the elusive gold. That's what Bertrand said. And the final next year is at Sea Allen, and it's their 60 years. Well, it's IFST's 60th anniversary year as well next year. So wouldn't that be a lovely prize to have in our Jubilee year? But to add one more thing to that as well, and that is when we are thinking about inspiring the next generation to work in food, we're talking about food science, we're talking about food technology, but we're actually really focusing on now 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds as an institute to get them to choose to study science and work in food and attracting talent into the industry. So I wanted to mention that as a great way to inspire them in terms of through this competition. And also, when we think of actually the number of opportunities that are there in the food sector, it's not always food scientists that end up working in food science. So please think about your teams being multi-subject. So the chemists, the biologists, the engineers, don't just think the food science course. Think about inviting colleagues, friends, other departments to be involved in this as well. So please think this recording, when Robin sends it out, please encourage your colleagues in other subject areas at universities to be part of your teams as well. Thank you.
Fantastic, thanks, Tim. Just as a reminder, if you have any questions, do click the raise hand button. I had a question, a specific question about the 2024 competition. Went on a telephone call with one of the universities the other day about there being a limit of 35 as an age. And Bertrand could just fill you in that is no longer the case.
That's right, Robin. It was the case to start with, and then we managed to get that overturned. So there's no longer an age limit. So it's for students who are doing a bachelor or master at the highest, but no PhDs. The only thing is that you can't have PhD students because it's mainly for sort of new students. So no PhD students, and nobody who, for example, has spent 40 years in the food industry goes back into university to do a degree. So no significant life experience in the industry. So you can have people over 35. But they shouldn't have a long working history in the industry, just to make it fair for the others. So yeah, because it's a bit like when you watch University Challenge, you got a group of people you got some that are clearly a lot more mature, have more opportunities to know a lot more things than the younger ones.
That will certainly help, Bertrand, with the apprentices.
Yes.
But the problem is there that some of them may have actually been working within the food industry for several years. So it'd be interesting to get a feel for what that limit of work in the food industry is.
They kept it quite loose, but it's to be in the spirit of the competition. So it depends also what they've been doing in that job. So we can it will be on a case-by-case basis, so we can look at that to make sure they don't get invested too much if they realize that they won't be able to go to Europe for sure. So yeah,
that's really good news.
Yeah,
thank you.
Brilliant.
And I think Tim's point was very good as well about making sure you collaborate with the part of the university or college and so on. Because in Europe they do have mixed people, so you have people from the packaging side university or marketing people or wherever, so they tend to have a quite multidisciplinary team.
Brilliant. Again, no hands up at the moment on the call, but I had a question from a university that's not able to join the call today. It was a very specific question. If the students progress to the UK finals, in terms of their transport arrangements and getting to the event, which may be held in somewhere in the UK, is that something that they can expense through the competition, or is that something that the students are to provide themselves?
There is some level of financial support, and the accommodations are paid for. Because I don't think you paid for anything, did you?
No. So what we did was we have a university pot for Ecotrophelia. So yes, Ecotrophelia paid for accommodation and up to a certain limit for resources for our stand, and then University of Nottingham paid for travel for all of us, because I think especially because there were 2 teams of us going down, kind of clubbing that all together was actually more economically viable.
But the accommodation is paid for sure.
Yeah.
So at the moment we in discussion with the venue for the June final in the UK. So as soon as we know that we will be announcing it. But so that in terms of travel and location, that will be important to know in terms of logistics. And the travel to Paris will be paid for. The accommodation in Paris is paid for as well.
Yeah, and that's basically just how it works at Nottingham Trent as well. So we foot the bill for all of the travel expenses. The tickets were all booked for them, accommodation was paid for, and all their resources. I think it was about £350, wasn't it?
Yeah, we give each team a budget, so they all have at least the same amount of money to put some kind of decent stand together.
And they spend it as well.
Yeah, we definitely did.
Indeed. Varying degree designs of t-shirts, I seem to remember. Yes.
Yeah.
Another question that I anticipated on this call is the timeline for the 2024 competition. So I'm just going to share that now on screen. So in terms of the 2024 competition timeline, the dossiers have to be sent to this email address by 12 noon on the 5th of April. We then shortlist the teams and they are announced on the 22nd of April. And then the UK final will be held at some time in June, and as Bertrand says, that will be announced where that will be shortly. And then if they're successful in the competition, it'll be October 2024 where the European finals are held in Paris. So that is the timeline for the 2024 competition. As I mentioned at the beginning, there is a lot of information about the competition, how to enter, sponsors, and things like the details of the dragons, which is available. If you just Google Ecotrophelia UK, you can find that. And if you have any questions that you'd like to answer, you can contact me. It's education@ifst.org. So please feel free to drop me an email.
Yeah, and Robin, on the website, the great website, there's also tips on how to put a good application together. So there's a lot of things there.
Fantastic. We've got a hand up. I'll go for Valia.
All right, yeah, that's fine. Thank you. That's just to say I put in the hello everyone, and thank you very much for this presentation. Hopefully I'll get my students this year to take part. But I've put the new IFST resource, a link to the food innovation toolkit in the chat. So this is not specific to students, but if you've got loads of food trends are there. How to creative sessions, how to run brainstorms, how to organize them, models on innovation. So that would be a good support for the teams. And also to say, I don't think we did that last year, but the year before, the year where we got in the European exam, I keep saying it wasn't an exam, in the European competition, that's the word, in the European competition where we got the special prize for marketing. It was also the year that the Food Innovation SIG offered to mentor the finalists. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying it is linked, but it was some really great sessions, I believe, and the students did say they found them very useful. So on behalf of the Food Innovation SIG, we will be very happy again to mentor the finalists this year, and if they so wish.
Fantastic, thanks, Valia. Appreciate that. So yeah, another question from Mark Knight at Manchester Met.
Matt Knight, sorry.
Oh, Matt Knight, sorry.
Yeah, so I've got a kind of twofold question, I guess. So firstly, thanks for everything we've gone through already. It's been really, really interesting. We've entered for the last couple of years, so it's been really nice to kind of see how Ecotrophelia has progressed. I wondered about the number of applications we're getting at the technical dossier stage, and how many universities are actively competing at the moment, kind of last 2-3 years. and if you have any plans on how to engage universities that aren't currently taking part in Ecotrophelia, but maybe would like to.
Yeah, well, I can start on the historical side, and then obviously you have your plans also with IFST to engage with the other universities, including Scotland and the other devolves. So on the as I mentioned in my slide, we had up to 22 universities over the last 11 years, but it's fair to say that there's a core of universities that tend to be there nearly every year. So that's or every year. That's Reading, Nottingham Trent, and the others come and go depending on who's there and the level of interest with the students. So, but the ambition is to get more university involved. I think there are at least about a dozen dossiers that make it to the pre-screening. So for the shortlisting, and then we select the top 7 or 5, depending on the between 5 and 7 for the live finals.
And I guess, oh, sorry, I was going to say.
Sorry, no, I was just about the ambition is to get a lot more people involved. Yeah.
Yeah, I think in terms of IFST, one of the big barriers, I guess, for students to enter the competition is the fact that they could have to maybe develop a product without a module to support it. So what we're trying to do is kind of make all the universities that are doing food science courses in the UK aware of the competition and hopefully promote it as a fantastic opportunity, so that it's so incorporated into modules at the university that they're already creating a new product. Which they can then also enter Ecotrophelia with. So it's hopefully not providing the student with a lot more work to do. That it kind of facilitates them to join that competition. So we're really trying to promote this as an opportunity for incorporation into modules.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you.
We'll kind of end that there then. So I'll send out this recording to everyone, and if there are any questions, and if you're listening to the recording, then please reach out to the education@ifst.org. Thanks everyone for joining today. We had a big spread of universities join the call, and I know a lot of companies and universities weren't able to join the call today, so hopefully you'll listen to this recording. And big thanks to Jess, to Bertrand and to Donna for presenting today. So I just say goodbye and have a lovely rest of the day.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Thanks
all.
Bye.
Thank you all.
Bye.
Everyone. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.